the chase and the hunt, and I set the pace when I'm running. I always take what I want and I always give it 100. Don't need a bank, no I'm funded. Play the game like it's nothing. I'm always thankful for something. Don't take for granted, stay humble. Now wake up!
Thank you again for joining me for another episode of This is CorbinCenter, and I'm not gonna lie, I've been procrastinating, so I'm filming this before I'm heading out for my shows this weekend, which I'll talk about in a little bit. But first, let me get to the recognition part of it. This one's a very special Corbin recognition. Somebody that I've known for a long time. Cal, it's for you because you, my friend, are married. Aw, congrats. It's so sweet. You know, and of course you gotta get the shout out this time because you know, like, it's not very common that I get to do those as far as shout outs and give credit where credit's due. You know, give your happiness credit. That's the big thing. So you are my fan recognition, Corbinite recognition. But, you know, let's talk about what happened. So obviously I had Pro Wrestling Battleground at the Cottage Grove Armory. Great crowd, which was great. A couple of my friends from high school showed up. I think that's always awesome when I get to reconnect with people. But the biggest thing is, picked up the victory. It's been a tough couple months. The lose streak is over. We're starting a winning streak, and that's where we're at here. So a big win that I picked up over Matt Honey. Now Matt Honey's been good, and like I said, I had no idea why he tried to go after me. But the biggest, I'm 2-0 against Matt Honey. And I proved it again that I could beat it. You know, like, he had this thing with his hair. I don't know what the deal was. He got that fresh cut. I messed it up a little bit. Got him a little aggravated, but aggravation cannot stop you from the most dangerous move in professional wrestling, the schoolboy roll-up. That's right. I won my match fair and square. No cheating, no nothing. All straight by the book, just like I was trained to do. But, you know, maybe they'll be around 3, and I'm sure Matt Honey, after he got back in, after the match, he threw me back in and gave me a jackhammer. And the idea that people think that I'm a bad guy, you know, people think that I was ready to leave that match. I was going to leave everything in the past because I'm already looking onto other things, but Matt Honey couldn't let it go. So is there going to be around 3? Are you trying to provoke me into another match? Look, as far as I'm concerned, I'm done with you. Just so you know, I'm done with you. But I'm sure down the road, when you wrestle enough times in the same little vicinity, you're going to cross paths again. But just remember, you cannot beat me. And that's why I was starting to think about it. I was like, you know, I've done so much for these young guys, giving them these big opportunities, but what's next for me at Pro Wrestling Battleground? And with the summer coming up, I was thinking about, like, where my next steps would be. And of course, like, last summer, Laura and I challenged for the Tag Team Championships. It's been a long time since I've had a shot at the Pro Wrestling Battleground Championship, a championship that I've held 3 times. So I feel like I need to start throwing my name in the hat. You know, and so many people are like, when are you going to have your breakout match? I've already, if anything, I broke out a long time ago. You don't win the major championship 3 times and then, you know, settle back down and for the up-and-comer. So it just doesn't make sense to me. But whatever, if I need to beat Connor Hopkins, I will. And this win motivated me because at the time that you're going to be seeing this, I am either going to be heading to Second Wrestling, which finally decided to put up my match with one Dak Draper. Now, Dak Draper and I have had a match before in Denver. We've done that. But, you know, again, this was supposed to be like a punishment. And a punishment for what? Second Wrestling said that I kept running my mouth, so they made this match. And why wouldn't you just advertise me in the first place? If you want me to actually start talking about your promotion, why don't you give me the attention? And then finally, when I do it back, when I promote the show more than anybody else on the show itself, then you start saying, like, oh, he's getting out of line, he's running his mouth, and all I do is speak the truth. That's all I've ever done. And now here I am with this match with Dak. Well, that's fine. That's all well and good. Now, do I have, what was my ideal scenario for Second Wrestling? Well, I mean, I've already ginger snapped a rabbi, and as far as on the list of things that I never thought would happen, but also in the same sense of things that were always like, that's a heck of a thing to happen, that already tops the list. But, you know, I'm going to keep this win streak alive. That's going to be the biggest thing. And then also, in a shocking twist, then I head back to school, I guess, where Ollie Bill, First Wrestling is going to Forest Lake High School, and I caught wind of this where one of the teachers there is Bill Williams. I thought that was interesting. Bill and I have had a couple matches, but now this is going to be in front of his school. Okay, well, interesting here. I always, look, my mom was a teacher. I've dabbled in teaching myself, and I always know how important teachers are for shaping the future of this world. And if you know anything about my opinion of society or the future or children, you know that I think we are doomed. And quite frankly, it's because of people like Bill Williams. So when I have this idea that Bill's going to go into trying to mold young minds, when quite frankly, is he going to be able to be a top star in the promotion that is coming into his school to put a show? I'm the champion. They could learn way more from me than they ever could learn from Big Cat Bill Williams. So, I don't know. What's my thought when I go into Forest Lake High School? Am I going to be pleasantly surprised by intelligence? Nah, probably not. I just look at it as a reflection of the company that they keep. So, I've beaten Bill in the ring. I could beat him in an academic triathlon or whatever they did in Billy Madison. So I know my strengths, and all my strengths exceed far, far above everybody that is at Forest Lake High School. So what I'm looking forward to the most, I have no idea what is going to go down at this show, but I look forward to the most is grabbing a microphone and getting to speak to the future generations of America and say to them, in that moment, that what they do will have no meaning. Because it's not like we're going to have anybody out there that's going to have a future that's going to impact me at all. Do I expect to see future doctors? No. Do I expect to see future scientists? No. But you know what? That's fine. That's okay. That's totally fine. Everybody can be just basic mid-level, and not everybody exceeds to be to the level of a champion of the promotion that gets to come in, do their thing, and go. And then finally, I will be heading to, I wrestled Brandon Gore, a former opponent that I've had a few times, wrestling Brandon in good old AWF in Staples. Now that's kind of up in my old territory, not too close, but it's on my way if I was going back to Detroit Lake. So I have to make sure that I keep in mind that I'm not just going back home, that all I'm going to do is make a little pit stop here. So anyway, yeah. So, and Brandon's an interesting guy. We'll just leave it at that. So my weekend is super busy, and so I have a lot that I need to accomplish, but let's talk about more of my upcoming schedule that I have here, kind of following up. The biggest thing is like after this I get a little bit of a break, which will be nice, but then I jump right back into it with freelance and freelance underground, so I have that. Then it's my birthday, going to the Twins game, which is great. Also have a Saints game in there, which I'm looking forward to. Then I will be back at the Uptown VFW, and then also with Pro Wrestling Battleground. Like I said, if you want to see what my next big plans are, you just have to follow this, no problem. And then in the summer, I don't even know where to start. I don't even know. I'm going to be surprised if I make it through the summer alive with everything that's coming up, because Second Wrestling is going to be having their little on-tour thing that they're going to be doing. I'm going to have some First Wrestling events. They've already announced, they continue to announce. WrestlePalooza is coming up. Plus Battleground will be sprinkled in there. Higher Ground is sprinkled in there. I got a lot coming up. I can't wait to talk more in detail. But the next time you check out CorbinCenter, I'll be probably recapping what happened this weekend. It's kind of the downfall of doing shows on a Thursday and then having to talk about it next Thursday, but I always have stuff to talk about because I am the loudmouth mercenary, and this is CorbinCenter. So continue to tune in, and I will bring you all the knowledge of what's happening in my world.
Don't be scared.